Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video News Now. Let me give you a quick preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is this probe, drone, whatever you want to call it, UFO that was seen by someone flying in United Airlines. And then I got a bunch of TikTok videos, and if I try and show you them, they'll just start autoplaying. So let me just try to remember what they were. Let's see. Yeah, first is a line of UFOs. And then I have a video about some guy explaining or talking about these plasmoids. And then I got a couple clips of Milton William Cooper, or Bill Cooper, who's this guy that wrote this book called Behold a Pale White Horse, or Beware a Pale White Horse. Anyways, he's got some predictions or some warnings, that he tried to inform us about several years ago. And then I have another video, this one here. Now, I think this is one of those videos that got one of my older videos taken down, because this guy's supposed to be real X-Men in black, speaks one time and exposes the truth before he passed in 1989. And like I said, I believe this was one of those videos where I put it up and YouTube just took my entire video down. But, I like living on the edge, living wild, so I'm going to try and play it again. It's 8 minutes and 39 seconds long. It is long, but I think it's worth listening to. But again, if someone doesn't want to listen to it, they can always just fast forward. Anyways, and then, you know what? I do have these photos of these aliens again. Again, I really don't have any context of these. Like I said, I just found these in a folder, or actually it was in a zip file that I cannot recall where I got this zip file. But anyways, opened it up and there was all these images in there. With, again, like I said, no explanation. So, just look at them. And I forgot to do it last time, but I'm going to try and remember to do at the end of these videos, put up some of these, or just show you, because there's a ton of these images in there, and we'll just take a look at them. But anyways, if you appreciate the time and effort that I put into bringing this information to you, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video, and more importantly, please subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, let's get to this video here. Now, this was supposedly one of these drones that someone captured flying in a United Airlines. Let me just back up a hair here. Actually, let me just start right there. And that's really it. Yeah, now this, I think this does have the form of a standard, like one of those Predator drones, I think it's called. So this, this definitely could be U.S. military. You have no idea what any of this says, but anyways, let me just jump ahead, see if there's anything else in this video. They just keep repeating this. Yeah, they just keep repeating this thing. But anyways, if you want to take a look at it, I think this is in French, or French Canadian. Excellent sequence. D'un ouvrier en art. Capte à partir d'un veau. Whatever. Anyways, I'm going to go to these friggin' Tic Tac. Here, it just starts up again. Let me back this up here. So this apparently took place in St. Lucie County, Florida, November 29th, 2024 at 6:31 p.m. This is a valid UFO. This is on camera. I can actually feel the time distortion around it. So now this person is claiming that their phone stopped working and then they had to restart it. This took place in a Walmart Supercenter parking lot. Breaking news, this is not a helicopter. It just released some sort of EMP. My phone shut down. It dropped something as well. This is not a helicopter. This is a 4-dimensional alien projection. Trust me. Trust me, bro.
Everything shut down. I just restarted my phone. I'm publishing this now. It's landing. Jesus. Holy shit. My God. Somebody go get them. Somebody go get them now. This thing's landing. Holy shit.
Well, what's up with that dude's fingernails? He's an alien.
My God.
I wonder what he means by I can actually feel the time distortion around it.
Oh my God. Northeast Florida. US 1. They see it. Shit.
Oh man, it's just an out of focus video. There's never any clear videos of UFOs.
6 p.m. It's crossed US 1.
Anyways, that's that. Let's go to this one here. Okay, let me back this up here. Yeah, now this took place at apparently at some soccer game. And I think this was in Mexico, maybe. Look at all these kids. Just like, whoa, what's up? Okay, that's that. Let's see. Let's go to this one here.
Living organisms.
Okay, let me just back this up. Okay, now this guy here is, explaining these plasmoids, and you get a pretty clear close-up photo of one of these plasmoids. And like I've been saying, I think what we're seeing now is there's many answers. There are these plasmoids. They're the the crafts that our advanced underwater neighbors are allowing us to see now, because remember, they can always hide in the infrared, but for whatever reason they've chosen to reveal themselves. And then apparently in January we're going to start seeing larger craft. But anyways, check this out.
We now have the clear shot of the orbs, which are now being called plasmoids. And people are saying that these are actual living organisms. And here's a really close-up shot of it with a 600mm film camera. And if you guys remember, there's this one dude that predicted this aerial battle that was supposed to happen shortly after Donald Trump was on Joe Rogan's podcast. If you remember, they were saying that there was supposed to be an alien invasion at a certain date and time, which never technically happened. But our definition of an alien invasion might be totally different than what's actually happening. So in this video here, a drone, which is this green light, comes up to the orb, which is the orange light, and the orb completely destroys this drone. The guy that was able to predict different events that happened did so that would use an algorithm that would analyze online conversations and predict future events. I did a full video on this, and the dude actually predicted a lot of things that have happened. And could the drones and the orbs in the sky be the alien invasion that he had predicted?
Yeah, someone had said that even though the guy said that, there was going to be, or actually he didn't say that there was going to be a war. It was just that people were going to be saying that it was a war, because, we could be misinterpreting, right, what we're seeing, but there are people who would still say, oh, there's a war going on. And apparently that's what the prediction was. He didn't say that, or it wasn't what was actually happening. His predictive language algorithms, whatever, just basically predicted what people were going to be saying, not necessarily what was actually happening, even if people were misinterpreting what they were seeing. Anyways, okay, check this one here. This is a line. And I think that's a helicopter coming towards them. You know what's interesting? I actually looked for this. I was trying to find the original, this at prop.picasso, because this isn't actually not from. Yeah, see this prop. I was trying to look for. You can't. There is no prop.picasso, or they don't have any videos up. You know, actually, I have my questions about that one. I'm not convinced 100% that that's real.
He claimed to know secrets about
Let me stop this one here. Let me go to the beginning. Now, this is about Milton William Cooper, or he's also been known as Bill Cooper. But this is just a real quick 30-second intro on who he is, and then the next video I'll show you is his warning basically to us.
Milton William Cooper, a former Navy intelligence officer turned author, who became one of the most controversial conspiracy theorists in American history. He claimed to know secrets about UFOs, government cover-ups, and a looming New World Order. In 1991, he published Behold a Pale Horse, a chilling manifesto exposing what he called hidden truths. The government didn't want us to know, but was Cooper a visionary warning us of dark truths? Or just another voice drowned in paranoia? Watch PT2 for what he had to say on the matters before he was silenced. Stay.
And you know, I couldn't find PT2. But anyways, it was Behold. I was saying Beware Pale Horse. But anyways, Behold a Pale Horse is the book he wrote. And remember that video, This Is America? And there was a scene where what's his name? The singer had a guy on a white horse running in the background. I wonder if that was in reference to.
Would not interfere in theirs. We were
just stop this here. Okay. Anyway, so that's kind of loud, huh? Okay. So now this is his warning. Okay. So this guy who I think people think that he was suicided. Oh yeah. One thing I wanted to say real quick too. They were talking about how he was, warning us about the New World Order. Supposedly, Trump is going to, first thing, or one of the things he's going to do when he gets into office is get us out of the WHO, the World Health Organization, and the World Economic Forum, which those guys are the globalists, right? Those are the people that are trying to make a one world government. And I don't believe that's like necessarily a bad thing. Right. I mean, again, I'm open. If someone can give me a good argument, I'm going to say, yeah, let's have a one world government, as opposed to, all of these imaginary lines and this whole nationalism. I mean, I do I love America and all that. But again, if someone's willing to give me a good argument, I'm willing to listen and change my mind. But anyways, here we go.
Would not interfere in our affairs, and we would not interfere in theirs. We were particularly interested that they do not interfere with anything that would affect our future, which has been violated. We would keep their presence on Earth a secret. They would furnish us with advanced technology and would help us in our technological development. They would not make any treaty with any other Earth nation. They could abduct humans on a limited and periodic basis for the purpose of medical examination and monitoring of our development, with the stipulation that the humans would not be harmed, would be returned to their point of abduction, that the humans would have no memory of the event, and that the alien nation would furnish MJ-12 with a list of all human contacts and abductees on a regularly scheduled basis. And this is not being done. It was agreed that each nation would receive the ambassador of the other for as long as the treaty remained in force. It was further agreed that the alien nation and the United States would exchange 16 personnel each to the other with the purpose of learning each of the other. The alien guests would remain on Earth, and the human guests would travel to the alien point of origin for a specified period of time, then return, at which point a reverse exchange would be made. I have no knowledge whatsoever of what happened to those original 16 humans who left the Earth with the aliens. It was also agreed that bases would be constructed underground for the use of the alien nation, and that 2 bases would be constructed for the joint use of the alien nation and the United States government. The base at Dulce is one, the base at S4 in the area known as Area 51 or Dreamland is the second. Exchange of technology would take place in the jointly occupied bases. These alien bases would be constructed under Indian reservations in the four corners of Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona, and one would be constructed in Nevada in the area known as S4, located approximately 7 miles south of the western border of Area 51, otherwise known as Dreamland. All alien areas are under complete control of the Naval Department, and all personnel who work in these complexes receive their checks from the Navy. Construction of the bases began immediately, but progress was slow until large amounts of money were made available in 1957, and in the meantime, work continued on the Yellow Book with the information derived from the guests.
Yeah, you know, the people who he's talking about, the exchange that he's talking about, that was called Project Serpo. And if you remember at the end of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, when those military guys with the hats and the dark glasses, remember, went on the ship, and Richard Dreyfuss ended up being, joining them. Supposedly Steven Spielberg was instructed to add that in there, just to kind of like get that into the zeitgeist, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I actually did a whole series on the Project Serpo. If you look in my playlist, you can see them. But it was pretty interesting. Some of them came back. One person died on the way there. Some other people, I think 2 people died while on the planet. A couple of them stayed on the planet, and then the rest of them came back and eventually died early because they had radiation damage, some type of radiation injuries, whatever. And also, when they're talking about the trading of technology for, Eisenhower allowing them to abduct us, you got to remember, David Paulides has that entire series, the Missing 411 series. So there's obviously something going on in our national parks and forests if those authorities refuse to keep track of what's happening. So I believe that there has to be some truth to this idea that we were given certain advanced technology, and they were given the right to abduct us, but they were supposed to return us. But like they said, they broke the treaty. Okay, now this is another long one. It's 8 minutes 39 seconds. But again, this is one of those videos where after my video got taken down, I looked for this video on YouTube and was not able to find it. Actually, I did find something else, but it wasn't this one. It wasn't as long as this, but it was very, very difficult to find. So this is one of those videos that they don't want you to know about. So anyways, I'm going to play the whole thing. It's 8 minutes and 39 seconds long. And if you get bored, just move on. Hit the fast forward button, but don't bitch at me.
1989, he was dying, and he actually died the following year in 1990. It's the only time he's ever talked about this on camera. It's about 14 minutes long, and I'll just show you a few clips. But he's ex-CIA, and more importantly, he claims to be ex-Men in Black. And just check out what he's saying here.
This transition in my life happened in 1970. The senior black project director was William T. Latham, who had worked under CIA Executive Director Richard Schlesinger. Latham stated that I was the perfect candidate for my new position. I was a foster child, and I had no connections to existing relatives. I had no friends or social life. It was easy for them to erase my past and provide me with a new identity. I gave myself to them as a priest would to his God. But first, my mind had to be erased. I was injected with various forms of mind-altering drugs, LSD, heroin, mescaline, morphine, sodium pentothal, and more. Drug-induced hypnosis followed with antegrade and retrograde amnesia. The goal was to program me to do 2 things: kill and forget. After 9 months of programming, I had become a man in black. What I later discovered was that not all the men in black were human. About a third were alien hybrids. Their distinctive feature was the absence of whites in their eyes, giving the impression of empty eye sockets. This unsettled me, and it took months to adjust to the reality of alien integration. My assignments largely dealt with UFO sightings and crash sites. In August of 1971, I witnessed my first UFO crash site just north of Edwards Air Force Base in California. Inside the craft were 3 grayed humanoids, 2 dead, 1 still alive. Also in the craft was a human female abductee. The alien humanoids were transported to the base, but 2 witnesses had arrived before us and took several photographs. The first surrendered his camera, but the second fled. When we apprehended him, he resisted, and I was ordered to silence him, which I did. The killing of witnesses was executed with a wand that acted very much like today's taser, but the voltage from the wand would cause immediate cardiac arrest, and the victim's death would be attributed to natural causes. We silenced countless victims, not only men, but women of all ages and even teenagers. The following day, after each kill, our memories were reset, so we would have no recollection of the murders. A good majority of the victims were ufologists and whistleblowers. Among the ufologists I personally silenced were Paul William Cooper, Milton Vigay, Claude Monroe, Anthony Vargas, and noted documentarian Samantha Willis. When my wand malfunctioned with Samantha, I resorted to strangulation. She fought for her life for almost 2 minutes. In recalling this act, I stared into her pleading eyes for the entire duration with absolutely no remorse, guilt, or feelings. That was how effective the mind conditioning was. And it's her face that haunts my dreams more than anyone's to this day.
So they stuffed out a documentarian.
Yep.
Well, that's not good to hear.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on. In 1954, Dwight Eisenhower signed what's known as the Granada Treaty with the alien gray race. In exchange for shared alien technologies, the Greys were allowed to abduct a number of humans annually for medical examination. The Greys also demanded anonymity from the public. A short time later, human technology took a giant leap forward with circuit chips, fiber optics, and lasers. The Granada Treaty is still active today, but the number of human abductions has increased, despite objections from the world governments. Now, the really interesting part. Every year, at least 8 million children go missing in the world. I can attest that 1/3 of them are abducted by government operatives and transported to any one of the 1,477 underground military installations on the planet, then imprisoned for the remainder of their lives. The children are subjected to biological and genetic experiments, dissections, and mutilations performed not by human scientists, but an alien gray species. During my stay at the Vanguard Underground Base north of Phoenix, Arizona, I witnessed many of these procedures. Because there was no form of anesthesia administered to the young patients, the halls reverberated with the screams of tortured children from morning to night. The ones that perished were incinerated in the installation's crematoriums. My point of contact at this base was Lieutenant Colonel Charles T. Leninger, and he was a human-alien hybrid. And get ready for this. In 1994, the World Population Summit in Cairo, Egypt, had 160 nations participate, where they all agreed that the human population was out of control and must be stopped because the world is running out of resources. An agreement was formed that would mandate the reduction of humans from 6 billion to 800 million by the year 2030. This meant finding a method or methods to wipe out nearly 95% of the population. Solutions were discovered, investigated, tested, then created, and have been in full force since. The procedures have been inflicted onto the human race are as follows. 1. Toxic levels of chemically enhanced fluoride have been secretly added to our drinking water over the last 20 years in every city and community on the planet. personally oversaw the delivery of fluoride barrels to Denver, Chicago, Tampa, and Minneapolis water departments. The adverse effects of fluoride poisoning to the human body are numerous and debilitating. The effects to children is damage to their neurological development, among other serious ailments. 2. Man-made viruses and diseases. The AIDS virus, which was a designer byproduct of the American Disease Institute, was distributed through vaccines to the public in 1980. Instituted as a preliminary population control tactic, the results were successful and led to more lab-produced viruses that have since been unleashed onto the public. Among those is the development of a mutated version of the common flu to replicate the 1918 influenza pandemic that killed 40 million people.
Remember, this guy is talking about this right before he passed in 1989. Okay, we just went through this. And they're trying to, do it again if we let them.
The first strain of this new flu virus will be released to the public in late 2017. So if we see a flu outbreak in the late 2017 or early 2018 that's killing people, we'll know this is true.
And let me stop again. Remember, Hillary Clinton was supposed to win the election, okay? Trump wasn't supposed to win. This would have happened if Hillary was in office.
3. Killing us from the air with neurotoxins, barium chloride, cancer microbes, and viruses by way of chemtrails. Released into the skies daily over all inhabited regions by military aircrafts. The effects of these toxins are severe and over time lethal, causing respiratory ailments, cancer, damage to the immune systems, and sterilization in men. Since the chemtrail plan was implemented, sperm count in men has dropped nearly 50%. If this isn't reversed soon, the human race will face early extinction.
Okay, I've said it before. I don't, necessarily think that it's bad that, that they're concerned about overpopulation, because I do believe that the world is overpopulated, that, like we're a scourge on the planet, and we do need to be controlled. So, again, if someone wants to give me a good argument, I could be convinced to join the dark side. Absolutely. Anyways, yeah, that's that. And you know what? If my channel suddenly gets taken down again, you'll know why, because I reposted this guy. But anyways, let's move on to, let's move on to these images. Okay, that's the end of the video. The whole thing about the experimentation thing, is this what's being depicted in these images? Now, obviously, these images are recreations, of people who most likely were abducted and witnessed this, and they're just describing what they saw. And one thing I want to point out in all of these images, right, these other beings that we keep seeing, right, they're here with us. These are I'm assuming these are humans that they've abducted from us, but these little guys aren't wearing any type of life support system, right? They're breathing the exact same air as these guys. And here in this image here, is this a reference to the hybridization program that, many people have spoken about? And look at these eyes, right? How often do people talk about the large eyes? See, more of the eyes. And this, seems like something that was drawn by, child. I think, does this say, what does this say? Hybrid or something like that? Yeah, it's small child, maybe 5, 6 years old or less, maybe even younger than that. Look at this thing here. Some kind of pendant around the neck. This is aerials, aliens taking children at night. You see, this is what's, really odd, is that guy just talked about how hundreds of thousands of children come up missing every single year. And, in these drawings, this is what's being shown. Aliens taking children at night. It's just like a trophy case. Some alien species trophy case. This is a strange one, huh? I'll give you a ride home. Come on. You can trust me, kid. I have candy. Yeah, what is up? I find it kind of scary that this guy would talk about the number of children going missing in these images. That's that's what somebody obviously saw. These children saw it. This doesn't look menacing though here. This looks kind of happy. Anyways, that is going to be it. Thank you so much for making it till the end. As I said before, if you appreciate the time and effort that I put into bringing you these videos, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video, and more importantly, please subscribe. Until next time, take care.